Imagine you're inside the Roman Senate before sunrise. The marble feels cold through your sandals. Candles tremble in a draft you can't explain. Caesar's men stand outside, quiet as statues. Inside, senators whisper like mice behind curtains. Brutus sits still, staring at a scroll he can't read. His fingers smell like ink and metal. He isn't angry, he looks tired. Caesar walks in like the room belongs to him. A laurel wreath, a calm face, a heavy cloak. People rise not because they want to, because their bodies learn the habit. Rome is not a city today. It is a pressure cooker. Caesar has won too many wars. He has too many loyal soldiers. He has too much money moving through the streets. And the Senate feels smaller every week. Some senators call him a hero. Others call him a future king. That word, king, still burns in Roman memory. Rome expelled kings centuries ago. They built pride around never bowing again. But Caesar keeps collecting titles anyway. Dictator for a year, then longer, then basically whenever he wants. He cancels debts for allies. He forgives enemies who swear loyalty. He fills seats with his supporters. It's not chaos, it's control. Brutus watches all of it silent, and Rome looks at Brutus like a mirror. Because Brutus has a famous ancestor, a man who helped overthrow the last Roman king. So people expect Brutus to repeat history. That expectation is a weapon. Cassius understands that. Cassius doesn't talk like a philosopher. He talks like a man with receipts. Cassius pulls Brutus into a side corridor. The stone walls smell damp and old. Cassius says Caesar is aiming for a crown. He says the Senate is becoming decoration. He says the Republic is dying slowly. Brutus doesn't deny it. But Brutus also owes Caesar his life. Caesar once forgave him after civil war. That kind of mercy creates chains. Brutus tells himself Caesar is still a citizen. Cassius tells him citizens don't act like gods. Then Cassius plays the smartest card. He talks about honor, about duty, about being the man Rome needs. Brutus goes home and finds letters on his floor, anonymous notes. But the handwriting feels staged. They beg him to save the Republic. They say Rome is watching. Brutus holds the paper near a lamp. The wax drips like time running out. Here's the real conflict. Brutus isn't choosing between good and evil. He's choosing between two disasters. Disaster 1, Caesar becomes permanent ruler. Disaster 2, Rome kills its most popular man. And Brutus knows what happens next. Crowds don't stay calm when icons fall, but the Senate fears a future it can't control. They've seen Caesar ignore tradition. They've seen him take power like it's oxygen. They worry the next step is a throne, so the conspiracy grows. Small at first, then bigger. Senators join with blank faces. Not because they're brave, because they're scared. They agree on one thing. Caesar must die. And they need Brutus, not for strength, for legitimacy. If Brutus is in, it looks like duty, not jealousy. Brutus tells himself one sentence. I'm doing this for Rome. That sentence becomes armor. The plan is simple. Meet at the Senate. Surround Caesar. Strike fast. No guards. No escape. No second thoughts. On the morning of March 15th, The air feels wrong. Even the birds sound cautious. Caesar hesitates. His wife begs him not to go. He goes anyway. Because power hates looking afraid. Caesar arrives at the meeting place, a theater complex near Pompey's old statue. The irony is sharp enough to cut skin. Pompey was his former rival. Now Caesar walks under Pompey's shadow. The senators rise again. The room feels too quiet. One man steps forward with a petition. Caesar leans in, annoyed. Hands move closer. Sandals scrape marble. Then the first blade hits. Not clean. Not heroic. Messy. The second strike comes faster. Then another. Then everything becomes noise. Caesar turns, searching faces he trusts. He sees Brutus. That moment is the real assassination. Not the knife. The betrayal. The famous line you've heard is probably fake. But the shock was real. Caesar collapses near Pompey's statue. Blood spreads across the floor like spilled paint. The conspirators step back, breathing hard. They expect applause. They expect freedom. They expect the Republic to restart. Instead, Rome freezes. Then Rome explodes. The crowd doesn't cheer. They panic. They rage. They mourn. Because Caesar was not just a leader. He was a symbol people understood. Brutus walks into the forum and tries to explain. He speaks like a man teaching ethics. But the crowd speaks like hunger. Then Mark Antony speaks. Not loud, not wild, smooth. He shows Caesar's wounds. He makes the crowd feel the betrayal physically. And the city flips. The conspirators run for their lives. Brutus becomes a hunted man. Civil war returns like a recurring nightmare. So why did Brutus betray Caesar? Not for money, not for fame. He did it because he feared monarchy more than chaos. He believed killing one man could save a system. But systems don't work like that. Rome didn't return to the old republic. It evolved into something harder, an empire. So Brutus didn't stop a king. He helped build an emperor. Quiet decisions that shape your world before you notice.